First step is to notify the insurance company. Notification. Because the insurance company does not know whether you are injured or not. They don't know whether you have a claim. So first step is you go and make a notification. And notification is important to do notification in writing. There should be a proof. It must not necessarily be writing physically. You can do an email. I prefer you do something that you can have an evidence that you notify. If you do a phone call, there may be no record for that notification. So do a letter, you can write an email to the insurance company notifying them of an accident. Step number 2 is claims review. And claims review is the insurance company will compare the details of the claim with those in the proposal form to confirm whether what you are claiming is actually covered. You have registered with them, I was injured. Now the insurance company will review that claim to consider whether that is under the policy or it is covered within the policy. Because yesterday we said there are some things called exclusions. Or probably you are claiming for education policy, yet you had a personal accident policy. Just the way I gave an example yesterday. So that's the step number 2. Claim review will be done by the insurance company. Step number 3 is claim registration. An insurance company will open a file for that claim that you've made, which will contain the name and address of the insured, the claim number, policy number, period of insurance, date of loss, sum insured, and an estimate of the cost of the total claim. Now, I don't know whether you are relating this one to what we learned yesterday about the principles of insurance. That if you are not disclosed your information truthfully, or even the claim that you are making, you are not doing it in a truthful way. This is now where the company can repudiate the claim. They can reject to pay. They can decline. So it's important as we learn this, you also coordinate or link it to yesterday's lessons about the principles of insurance. Then the insurance company will assess. Assessment ni kujua kiwango gani. Kama umeumia mguu, ni kiwango gani unafaa kulipwa. Washira took us through about personal accident policy. So, assessment, you are injured, you've lost maybe your arm imekatwa, sio? Ama umekatwa miguu, both legs. Huwezi tembea tena. So assessment is ascertaining the level of loss that you have suffered. If you got an accident, there may not be total loss. Today, if I got an accident and I lose this finger, this small finger, will you stop me from working? It may not. But if I lose both my limbs and my hands, it may really derail how I work. Yes. So assessment is establishing the level of loss that you have suffered. If you use an example of motor vehicle, assessment will be the level of damage. Umegonga gari lingine ama gari lako limegongwa. Si lazima ikuwe unalipwa the total cost of the car. You could have just lost the side mirror or the headlight. So that assessment will establish the actual cost of the loss. After assessing, the company will decide to pay or decline your claim. Of course, we want it to be paid. If the event that you are claiming had been covered, if you are covered for an accident and you have an accident, that is paid. But if you had an education policy which does not cover an accident and you get an accident, will you be paid? No. So the event must have been covered. Number 2, there must be an insurable interest. Insurable interest will say nini. And if the loss occurs, you lose financially. See? Or you must have a linkage to that what you are claiming for. So if you are claiming for something that is not, you have no insurable interest, you will not be paid. Another reason that you will be paid is if the insured has complied with the terms and conditions of the policy. Some of the terms and conditions is you paying the premium on time, you notifying on time, you are not doing the loss willfully, or you are not perpetrating the loss by yourself. So you have fulfilled the conditions of the terms of your policy. And also the cover is valid at the time of loss. Abel yesterday gave an example of a person who had a motor vehicle insurance. It expired on 11th. He renewed on 13th. Accident happened on 12th. So if you claim, will you be paid? No, because it wasn't valid. In insurance, there is validity period. There must be the start and the end. So if the loss occurs outside the period of start and the end, that is not payable. Let us now look at, I think this is where we have interest. Why the insurance company may not pay you as a claimant. You have a policy. You are paying faithfully for that policy. You are paying monthly, quarterly, half yearly. But you have gone to the insurance to claim and they say, sorry, we are not paying. These are some of the reasons that your claim may be declined. One, if there is deliberate loss that was occasioned by the insured. If you have fire policy for your premise, na ukaenda ukachukua kiberiti, kapanga usiku, set it on fire. That's a deliberate. So insurance company will not pay such a claim because you are the one who did the loss deliberately. Number two is the loss is through collusion with the insured or his employees. If it's theft insurance and you have colluded for your goods to be stolen by your employees or your relatives so that you claim, that's not going to be paid. Najua sasa tunapolani insurance tunatafuta pia njia ya ujanja ya kupata pesa, si ndio? Sasa wewe unaweza fikiria kwa sababu kuna theft insurance, our employees wangu na wapanga waibe ndio niende to claim. If there is a collusion between you and the employees or even your relative, that's not going to be paid. The insurance company has accepted to pay you. They will now do what we call claim settlement. The insurance company will go ahead and pay you. And it takes me back to the question that why am I not paid the same day? You have seen now that there is a process. You notify them, they review, they assess, then now they decline or accept to pay, then they pay you. When the process of payment at the moment, long time ago there was payment through a check, but nowadays it's through EFT, direct to your account, and M-Pesa payment. So there's tracking. You know, you are paid through a check and you say, I didn't receive a check. It's a word for a word. Yeah. How can I know that I received? And there are those complaints of people who did not receive checks long time, maybe payments of around 2009, 2008. You are issued a check, but you come, you said, I did not receive, or probably the check was lost. So that was a challenge, but with technology at least that problem has been addressed. There is an EFT payment, you can track the payment. There is M-Pesa payment, also you can prove that you did not receive by just providing a statement.